We're going to do these 3 achievements in this video, as Belgium have more than 50 factories, be the Rexist fascists, and control your neighbours' capital regions, so the full provinces surrounding Berlin, Paris, Luxembourg City and Amsterdam, and occupy all of European France with over 22 fully equipped bicycle divisions. So yeah, the information Paradox gives you on this achievement is wrong and has been wrong for nearly 6 years. We'll start off going down our political tree to become the Rexists, and screw it, we've got a lot of time to build up, so let's go for tanks, why not? We'll go for the infantry tank designer as a superior MIO. Obviously a few of them highlighted are not mutually exclusive, but by my little beady eyes that's 8 good traits you can choose from there. Whereas the fast tank designer has only 7 good ones, and you're forced to take a trait that makes the tanks more expensive to produce. And unlike in the infantry tank designer where you have to take one bad one and then take all the good ones, in the fast tank designer all the good ones are locked behind all the shit ones. And with tank divisions in mind and it being a long build up, we'll build a tank facility in our capital and then just mills. And we'll do some 1 division training with one of those infantry divisions, and we'll get them shitty light tank destroyers and the planes up on the market. We'll just produce some guns to begin with. And for our second focus we'll do the government resigns, and when that focus is finished it asks us for our choice on who should lead us, and it's the government of national unity. We're just going to head down to this focus to begin with to flip fascist. And the heavy tank is researched, so let's design it. We'll stick the 3-man turret on, and we're going to use this tank for its armour value as an armour meme. We're going to put the basic heavy cannon on it and turn it into a tank destroyer. In that role the breakthrough is nerfed, so there's no point in putting a radio on, if we'd have had researched it yet anyway. We're just going to fill them slots with a heavy machine gun. We'll raise the armour up to 4 because it doesn't cost any more steel to produce that tank, and when we have an extra 7 army experience we'll put the Christie suspension on it, and we'll start producing it. You don't need many because it only costs 40 per division. 2 or 3 factories will be enough if you put them on quite early in the game. And our good friends in the Congo finished the Heart of Africa focus, which gave us some PP, so we'll hire the Count of Flanders. And we're forced to hire Prudent as our chief of army. We would obviously love this guy, but you have to do one of those 2 focuses. The top one we can only do when we've capitulated and we're not going to, and the second one makes him a general for the Congo, not us. And we can't hire Oscar Michaels because when we turn fascist he's going to leave. But Prudent Neuton, his bonus is okay and I would choose him over Michaels anyway. Entrenchment is better than defence. This is the fella that it blocks you from hiring. And we would hire him if we could because they're very good bonuses. And the fact that he gives you combat stats while being a political advisor is really interesting. He's also available in the military high command but with a much lesser bonus. But again, because of Prudent we can't hire him in either role. And I'd rather use the basic medium tank than the interwar one, so we'll start researching that. It's a touch ahead of time. And after the royal intervention focus, the king asks us who should be in charge, and obviously it's the Rexists. So now we're fascists. Well, that was easy. We're going to attack the Netherlands, however because of the perpetual neutrality focus that we were forced to take, it doubles the amount of time it takes to justify. However we do abandon neutrality and it's back to normal, so that perpetual only lasts a few months. And when I've got 35 army experience, don't look how much I've got, I get proper heritage to design the cav divisions for free, to make the standard training division, to convert your 1 division training into that. And we want to upgrade the cannon on our tank destroyer, and we need something to stick on our mediums when we get them, so we'll start going down the anti-tank research. Here's how the stats match up on the medium cannon and the howitzer. Yes, the AI will have more infantry divisions, so soft attack is more valuable. However, you do get more than enough on the medium cannon line, and the howitzer is more expensive in terms of production cost and material cost. And there are more stats reductions on the howitzer. Though obviously either would work, but I just don't want to do the same thing every game. And the land warfare facility is ready, so we'll hire a scientist. I swear I've seen it be 25 PP before if you've not already got one. Maybe that was a mod, I don't know, or country specific. Abandon neutrality is done, so we'll justify on the East Indies because we want them and the Netherlands. We'll do some economic focuses now, give Luxembourg a bit more time to build up before we annex them. I've never seen them say no to this focus, but if they do we have this one anyway, which we would do anyway to core them. Because we've designed that cav division we don't need prop heritage anymore, so we'll swap out to state serves the military to get cheaper conscription laws and the offensive war stability penalty reduced. It did used to be a better bonus a few patches ago. When we were actually at war, professional officer corps would be the better one to have because of the division experience gain. Or sticking with proper heritage for the leader experience gain. If you're a democracy, relief for command is definitely the best one though. When you complete the gold reserve focus it gives you this bonus, and these decisions which you can spend that bonus away. Each one costs you 50 PP and 2.5% of that consumer goods bonus, so you can do them 4 times. The first one gives you 150 PP, 5% stability and 5% ruling party popularity for whichever one you are. We are gonna however end up 100% stable and 100% fascist, and 150 PP is nice but you learn it naturally. But this early in the game 150 PP can be put to very good use, so we will click it once even though it's the weakest bonus, for long term consideration. The second one, plus 20% construction speed for 180 days, which is nice but not great. And the third one, plus 10% factory output for a year, is amazing. So we'll definitely be pressing that 3 times. If you had more patience than me, you could do it 4 times and not get that first option. I use that PP from Expand the Welfare System to hire a fascist demagogue. We do have ticking fascism from our leader, however a lot of focuses down his tree are locked behind high fascist support, and a lot of them focuses are really good, so I'd prefer to do them sooner rather than later. This focus will also massively help with the fascist support, however I'll leave doing it till a bit later. We'll also get an event or 2 that will allow us to up our fascism. Just pumped out 23 of these noob divisions, line artillery, fucking hell, come on. Because the war goal's ready on the Dutch East Indies, so it's time to go to war. If you'd done anything to generate any world tension, been to war before or joined the Axis, you could just directly declare on the Netherlands if the East Indies got guaranteed. If I hadn't been so lazy and traded my divisions, we'd have run through the Netherlands quicker than this, but we're not in a massive rush. I'm just going to puppet them both and add resource rights and war reparations. We can't form the Benelux. If we could have, I would obviously just taken the Netherlands directly to do that. And by puppet them, there's less territory for us to defend when we go to war and more for the enemy to waste their troops on guarding. The only downside would be without taking the Netherlands we don't have any dockyards to produce convoys. During the war the medium tank and the first anti-tank research were done, and this is the medium tank that I designed. We've gone from 25 factories to 47, a load of build slots to fill up, shit ton of resources, especially rubber which we'll need for the mech, and our fighting days are done for a few years, so I'll go back to 1 division training. I'll get an attaché sent to the Japanese. It is a bit late, I should have probably not bothered up in the conscription and saved the PP to do it earlier, but with that attaché and this focus we can go to war economy when we get to 150 PP. Alternatively we could have got the same amount of war support from this focus, but we want to send the attaché for the experience anyway. And the flame tank research is done in the land warfare facility, so we'll design the flame tank. The only important part of it is adding a load of breakthrough. We don't need the criticality suspension on this because it's the heavy tank that's going to slow down the division, not the flame tank. With the Dutch dealt with, we'll join the Axis to negate this. Hitler won't be able to do this focus, being that we're in a faction together, he'll have to get bypassed. And like I said, Luxembourg says yes. Welcome to Belgium, 2 mils, 2 civs. 27 steel, pretty good, I'll take it, thanks. And we researched the first anti-air, so we'll stick some of that into production. And we got the military engineering vehicle from the land warfare facility, so we'll produce some of that as well. With the fascist demagogue, the bonus from our leader, and that dissolved political parties focus, we got to 9% fascism in mid-39, so we can do this very nice focus. We're going to get the mech research soon, so it'd be handy to have this focus. We could have gained some more funds and researched it a couple of weeks earlier if we had the focus before we started doing it, but oh well. When you do get mech research, you want to always make sure you have 100 army experience available so you can do all the ticks for the production cost. And select this option in the MAO to get it as cheap as possible. So instead of having a production cost of 8, it's 3.76. Here comes the money! Here we go! We'll get cockerel for our industrial concern. You get plus 5% factory output if you've done this focus. It don't matter which order you do it in, if you get the concern first or do the focus first. These focuses in the industrial tree are very good. Plus 5% base, plus 10% growth, plus 15% cap. They all contribute to you getting more equipment, especially the cap. Because Germany can't go around the Maginot because of us or through it because of it, they have to wait for Italy to get involved, and Italy will take a load of territory, which means that Vichy won't be formed. So the Axis will be weaker, but that's no skin off our nose. The Axis is waiting for us to get involved, got a ton of divisions there, sorry guys.
God's gonna sit this one out.
We're not exactly short of manpower, we've got 5% from extensive conscription, 1.5% from this focus, and these 2 focuses give us an increased recruitable population factor as well. And when we're at war we can get even more. And we could get a touch more if we hired this fella. And there's potentially another 1.5% down here, but we have to go through a load of focuses that deal with a load of forts and we're just not interested. What I'm saying is we've got loads of people, but we're just not going to use them. We're going to use the Indonesians. We don't care about raising their autonomy level by forcing them to do all the fighting. Look, there's 2 of them for every one of us. The only Belgians I'll risk on the front line will be safely protected in tanks. Look, the Axis got best part 120 divisions there. I mean that's including one of mine, a couple of the Netherlands give me whatever they've shut out. There we go, Spring 41 have completed our doctrine, nice. I know you're seeing this, you're like, doctrines don't look like that anymore. Shh. France has finally capped, about a year after they would have if we weren't blocking the way. And there we go, that's what our final tank will look like when we get another 140 army experience, bloody hell. Probably should have designed a light tank and put that as a recon company, would have only cost us like 1 mil if I put it on from start of the game. Japan's doing strike the southern resource area, which will give them a war goal against us. But because they have a non-aggression pact with our faction leader Germany, while we're in the Axis they can't touch us. We're 100% fascist, so there's no point having the demagogue now, so we'll replace him. To be honest, we were 100% fascist about 2 years ago, so I should have got rid of him then before I did this focus. Then use these decisions to get back up there. To be honest, should have got rid of him when we got to 90% and got that focus done earlier. Anyway, replace that demagogue with this fella. Like I said earlier, plus cap and growth are really powerful. Well, it took 9 months to get that experience, that's not too bad. There are a load of really good focuses over here that give you combat stats that you'd want to get done before, or at least while you're at war. We are going to go to war soon, so we've got these divisions covering the ports and the VPs over in the East Indies. We could use spies and get a non-aggression pact with the Japanese to give us an extra year or so before they declare war on us, but I'm not really bothered, and we don't actually want that anyway, because if we balls it up, there's a way of unballs-ing it if we're at war with Japan. We do have a great deal of equipment and factories, so we're not bothered about the debuffs this gives us, so we're going to go up to service by requirement because we are running short on manpower. And we'll get all our troops set up. Because we're currently part of the Axis, we can't just put a big front line on everyone, so we've got to do it all separately. We could put them on a fallback line, but then we won't gain the planning bonus. And we'll convert our cav divisions to the tank ones. And obviously we can't do this as part of the Axis, so off we pop. It would actually be preferable for us if they were in a stronger position. They're not doing super great right now. Well, that particular tile has a lot of debuffs it's given us, but you can see the benefit of having the planning bonus. The achievements don't actually require you taking any territory in a peace deal, only occupying it. However, we have no way of getting to Corsica, apart from stealing it away from the French. While you are fighting in France, there's so much messing around with the front lines. We don't want to get military access from any of the allies because then the territory would go to them instead of us. And we want it because bigger on a map is obviously better, and also it'd be cheaper to take in a peace deal if we're the ones occupying it. So your troops get stuck on front lines against the allies, you have to delete them and stick them back on the proper one. Fortunately now we've cleared them out of France, we can just go onto one big front line against the Axis. You could build down and annex the Netherlands now to get that first achievement done because we are controlling the capital provinces of all of our neighbours. But we'll get that done after the peace deal. Now obviously running into the Maginot is a stupid idea, however we're just trying to grind more war score. So all the kills we get and all the deaths inflicted on us are actually helping. Also don't look how I've seemingly ignored Denmark and let them walk back in. That was not intentional, I'm just stupid. We'll take Corsica and Brandenburg first, and then we'll start eating away at France around the coastline. And we'll make sure we take the Maginot, which will border the American occupied German zone, so that if you can't get all of France, the only territory that you need is stuck right in the middle of you. And then just send a load of troops to Corsica and Brandenburg to hold them, and all your coastlines and all your borders, and then declare war on France and take it. Like I said, you don't need a peace deal, you just need to occupy it. Because both us and the allies are at war with Japan, you'll be able to get military access so you can move your troops in and out of Brandenburg. That's why being at war with Japan is what we wanted. If we weren't, they would be stuck there and we couldn't reinforce that. But anyway, we got all of France in the peace deal anyway, so we'll build down the Netherlands and get them annexed. So that's us controlling Brandenburg, Ile-de-France, Luxembourg and Holland. And there's more than 22 bicycle divisions fully equipped while holding all of European France. I genuinely thought they were a series of really fun achievements to do.